Hey guys, Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this fabulous Friday here in Connecticut. Life's good, guys. Life is good. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. Double pedal tones and a thick bottom lip. All right. This came from a question from a viewer, an email. And guys, if you have questions, email me. All right, I will get back to you. Sometimes it'll just be a couple lines in an email. Sometimes it takes more than just a couple lines, and I will do a video on it like I'm doing today. Sometimes it's even bigger than that, and I suggest you take a lesson. Okay, but I will get back to you. All right. Anyway, let's talk about double pedals and thick bottom lip. Let me honk a little bit. I played this morning. Haven't played in a while. All right. Yikes. Wow, that was weird. Hang on just a second. Let me get my horn. That was odd. Because obviously the F above double C and Charlier number 2. Now, I don't think I played that in 30 years. Guys, and I don't think, unless you guys know differently, I don't think I've ever played it on these videos. I don't know why it came out. Think about it right now. The only thing I can think of is I did the thing on Mel Broyles yesterday. And that was the first thing I ever played from Mel Broyles. This Ace, you keep playing like that, they're going to kiss your ass. Ace, this is the Metropolitan Opera, and I'm going to be all over you, and you are going to hate me sometimes, but I am going to expect a performance like that every single time you come over here. And we were off. Anyway, yeah, that was odd. So, here we are. I got a email from a viewer. Guys, as I said before, email me with anything. Okay? This might take a little bit longer, so I may cut off the whatchamacallit in the back. The rondo in the back. So if it just stops abruptly, so be it. Anyway, double pedal tones. And the question from this camper was, what happened to the double pedal tones? They were the foundation for everything back in the day when he studied with Jerry. And he's absolutely right. Now here's the deal. If you have a copy of Trumpet Yoga, there was a whole opening routine that he started with of just pedal tones, middle register, flopping down to the double pedal, and the double pedal up to as high as you go. And there were dozens of other things that onsets it up to whatever. Okay? That was a big part of it. Now what happened was this. When Jerry set out to create the perfect embouchure. Needless to say, his first several forays into it were not very successful. And there was one day when he was shaving and he was looking in the mirror. He went and got his horn. You can just picture Jerry, the absent-minded professor, got his horn with shaving cream all over his face, and he tried a double pedal. And he went right up to the double C, and he really had it. Okay? Now, that was the foundation, and the viewer was absolutely right about that. But here's the deal. And this is the exception I have with a handful of guys out there that are still teaching this, because he got away from that about 20 years ago and never came back. All right? But here's the deal. If you look, and I hope this doesn't distort the sound. I'll try not to play as little as I can so it doesn't distort the sound. But I want you to look at the double pedal. Now, you see that? You see how thick that top lip is? I'm going to put in our favorite picture of Faddis. Okay? And this is what I'm talking about. You see that? Let's try this. Okay? Now, more importantly, from Jerry's point of view, look at how thick the bottom lip is. Now, obviously that's a double pedal, and you don't play in that register. But every single one of his idols at the time, Maynard, Harry James, Charlie Shavers, all of them Maurice had enormously thick bottom lips. Now, what they were doing, basically, Jerry's routine was this. Play the double pedal, and I won't play a lot because I don't want to blow this out. Come up out of it and keep that bottom lip thick. All right? Now, this was long before, and this is the exception I have with those guys that are teaching it. This was long before we were controlling it with the tongue. If you go back into that trumpet yoga, he doesn't say one word about the tongue. Okay? We were all controlling it with a thick lower lip. Okay? Now, as we went higher, the thick lower lip went up. Okay? No tongue. I can't do it anymore without the tongue. I can't. I was about to spit buzz something. And we weren't even spit buzzing back then. Okay? Now, that worked for a while. Guys, listen and take this to the bank. If you are going to relax the corners, you have to have a grip somewhere. You have to. And for us, it was the bottom lip that was gripping the top lip. Okay? We were overblowing at the time and all that sort of stuff, but that was his theory at the time. And we went with that for a long time. And those routines that I just told you about, coming einsets and onsets and coming up and out of it, we did those for years. We started every lesson with that. We went to every gig and getting back room and started with that. Our practice session started, it was based on that. Okay? Once he started with the tongue control, okay, he said we didn't need it anymore. Now, if you talk to Ray Rosario, if you talk to Terry Sergili, a bunch of those guys that were with him for a long time, he got away from it. He said we don't need it. Now, we still did it as sort of, for us, it was almost a reaction. We just did it naturally, a habit, okay? But we were not doing those routines anymore. The reason for that, we could keep the tongue, the bottom lip, as thick as we wanted with use of the tongue. The tongue-controlled embouchure. Okay? Now, watch. See how thick it is? Now, it's in a double pedal, so it's all unrolled. And of course, you can't play unrolled. But look at my bottom lip with the tongue in our new position. That's it. We're keeping the lip nice and thick, a la Maurice Andre, a la Horst Fischer, all of them, using the tongue. And we didn't need the double pedals anymore. Now, I also said this to the student, to the viewer. Here's the deal. If you feel, and he does, if you feel like you need that double pedal routine to set you up, knock yourself out. Don't think twice. Don't think you're doing something wrong because, you can't get it without, you can't get the proper tongue placement without your double pedals. Nothing could be further from the truth. Do it. Now, I also, in the email back to him, compared it to Phil Smith and Vacchiano. Guys, I abhor long tones. I think they are a complete and total waste of time, and I advise all my students not to play them. All right? Now, that may have started back with Mel. Mel hated him too. Ace, I got better things to do. Anyway, we're getting off the subject. But I'm going to say this. Phil Smith and Vacchiano swore by them, and they needed them. They felt they needed them over the years to start with the long tones to set themselves up for the day. Now, the double pedals are not detrimental like the long tones are. I truly believe long tones done a certain way can be detrimental. Okay? The double pedals are not. So like Phil and Vacchiano, if you feel you need that, that's a matter of course, that's just what you've always done. You do a couple of those and you're ready to go. Don't sweat it a bit. Don't sweat it a bit. Now this guy that I'm talking about, I won't use his name. Trust me, he's playing great. He's doing it right. Everything is cooking. If that is what you feel you need to get your chops set, do it and don't think twice about it. Okay? I don't use them anymore. Only in extreme cases when, for whatever reason, the guy just, and these are I've only 2 or 3 times in the last 10, 15 years. 2 or 3 times when the guy just couldn't relax the corners. And that helped. Now remember, when you're going from the double pedal, basically all you're doing is that. You see how the corners don't move? Now, watch what I'm doing without that and the tongue. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but I'm getting more compression starting with the tongue. All right? All right. You know who you are. I hope that answers your question. And all of you, and that comes up every now and then. Okay? Because they go back and look at some Jerry's old stuff. Whatever happened to the double pedals? Well, that's what happened to them. All right? All right. Eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and have a great weekend. And I will see you Monday. Love you all.